Hey everybody, this is Russ from Metro Game Core. I've been doing a lot of reviews over the past few weeks and I need a break. Let's talk about one of the games that I've been playing lately. There's a new feature in Steam. If you go to the store and then recommendations, they have what they call a personal calendar. And on there you can customize it however you'd like, but it will also show you most of the games that they think you will like that have released over the past month. And a couple weeks ago, this game caught my eye. It's called Slots and Daggers, and it comes in at a great price. It's on sale right now for under $6. And I've been playing it a lot lately, mostly on my Steam Deck. You see, my family got a new couch, and it's really comfortable to the point where when I get done in the evening, editing the latest video, I just have this urge to go and lay on it, maybe watch TV, and play a lightweight game. And this has been the perfect fit for that. And so in this video, I want to just talk about this game and what I've really enjoyed about it and how it progresses and everything else. So let's start at the very beginning. This game is called Slots and Daggers. It's made by a solo developer named Friedman, and he's made 3 games altogether. The first one was called Pizza Possum. It came out a couple years ago. That's an arcade-style eat-em-up game. And then we have one called Summer House, which is a house-building simulator that came out last year. And this new game is a roguelike with a slot gameplay mechanic, and it also has a bit of a puzzle quest-style feel to it. I think the best way to show off this game is to actually play it. So this is my Xbox Ally X, just running the game right here via Steam, and I also have removed any save games here, so I'm just starting this game from scratch. And as you start a new run, it's going to give you the option of choosing 3 different symbols. In the beginning, you're only going to have 3, so we're just going to choose those. We've got a dagger, a coin, and then finally a shield. Since we don't have anything else to do at this point, let's just go ahead and continue the game, and this is what will happen. We'll have to go up against an enemy and then fight it using this slot mechanic. So let's take a look at our main display right here. We've got this slot wheel, which is going to roll through the 3 different symbols that we have chosen, and then we can press the A button to land on each of those symbols when we want. To the right of that, we've got our health, so this is going to show our HP on the left side, and then any shield modifiers that we have on the right. And as you can see right in here at the start, I've got 100 HP, but no shield right now. We can build that up if we happen to roll a shield later on. Above the slot part, we have the enemy's HP. You can see that this guy has 140 HP, but no shield going on just yet. And you can also see their attack strength. So it's going to be 10 in physical strength and no magic strength right now. So what's going to happen when I press on these is it's going to choose either a coin or a shield or a dagger. Those are the 3 symbols that I have. And depending on what lands, that's going to affect the enemy. So if I get 3 coins, that means that I'm going to gain some money. If I get 3 shields, that means that I would get additional shield here on my HP. And then if I got some daggers, that would then attack the enemy with my current strength. And so it's kind of random. I'm just going to hit the A button and make it go, but there are also modifiers later in the game where you can make the wheel slow down, and so you can choose it a little bit more judiciously. Either way, I'm just going to hit the 3, and then you'll see the gameplay loop happen. So I'll hit 3. I've got coin, shield, coin. So what I got there is extra coins, and then also the shield over here. And then the enemy immediately attacked, and it took away 10 HP because that was its attack strength. Now, after each turn, the enemy gets stronger. You can see here it now has an attack strength of 13 instead of 10. And so it's just going to keep going up and up. And so it's in your best interest to kill an enemy as soon as possible. And at this point, I haven't taken away any of his HP because all I have done is gotten 2 coins and then 1 shield. So again, it's kind of random. You never know if I'm going to get all daggers or something else. Let's try another roll and see what happens. So I got 2 daggers and a coin. So you can see here I hit him twice and then got an additional coin. The enemy also just attacked me. It hit me with 13 strength, and so it took away whatever shield that I had at that point. And then also you can see his strength also went up, so now it's up to 16. So the next time he hits me, it's going to hurt even more. And so already you're probably getting a feel for how simple this game is in that you're really just trying to get daggers in the beginning to attack the enemy and kill them. So let's do it one more time and see what we get. So shield, coin, and then dagger. So that means I got a little bit of shield, which the enemy just took away with its next attack. I also got a coin, and that's about it. So let's go ahead and try it again and see if we can attack him even more. So there we go, 2 attacks. So we're really taking down his HP. We got a bit of shield here, and then he chose to do a shield instead of attacking. So now he has a little bit of shield right there that I now have to attack to. So now the next time that I attack, it won't necessarily take off the HP. It's going to have to take off the shield first. And so you can see here, I actually got 3 coins. It was a critical hit because I got 3 in a row, which means that I just got more coins. So this essentially is the loop. I'm just going to hit it. So there's a critical hit that's probably going to kill him. Well, it got pretty close, but you can see here that, yeah, that's kind of how the loop goes. Let me try it one more time. There we go. So definitely killed him that time around. So as soon as I killed him, I got a bunch more coins, and the amount of coins that you get per kill is how fast you're going to kill the guy. So the faster you kill him, the more coins you're going to get. You may have also seen some chips that fell out down here on the bottom. The chips are going to be for upgrades after you're done with your run. That's going to be for permanent upgrades to make your character stronger, and that's that roguelike element. Now, every time that you kill an enemy, you go over to this shop, and it basically has upgrades for your current symbols. So you can see here that the dagger has an upgrade for 14 coins, which essentially just makes it a little bit stronger. As you can see here, it's going to be a 50% increase in my overall strength. We've also got a couple new symbols that we could purchase, and then they would go into our stock. So instead of rolling among 3, we can roll against 4 or 5 if we buy them. This first one's a healing spell, so if I rolled that, that would give me 20 additional health. And then I've also got this one, which is a coin bag, which will give me between 1 and 4 coins. So this one's a little bit better than the 1 coin that I'm getting with every roll. And so at this point, I can kind of make a decision. Do I want to try different symbols, or do I want to make this other one stronger and really hit the guys harder in the next time around? And because I've got 22 here, I'm actually going to buy this one for 14, and I still got $8 left over. And so what I'm going to do is actually buy this money bag right here. So now at this point, I've got 4 different symbols, and 2 of them are money related, which means that I'll probably be pretty coin heavy going forward, but then I also have more attack strength as well. You've also got a couple other options here on the bottom. So for 5 coins, I could re-roll all these and get new symbol options, kind of like how it works in Balatro. And then also I've got one where now I can remove some of these because I've got more than 3. So if I wanted to just remove this 1 coin, I could do that too. So that way I've only got those 3 right there. And so for me, this is probably a better setup just because I've only got the 3 symbols to go for. So I'm not going to get a bunch of different coins stacking up. But when I do roll a coin, it's going to be better. And so this is probably an ideal setup in the beginning because I've got my attack, my shield, and now I've got, instead of just the regular coin, I've got a money bag. So at this point, I think I'm ready for the next enemy. Let's go ahead and go on and then move on from here. Now, as you go forward, these enemies are going to progress in difficulty. You can see this guy's got additional HP. He's got 160 to start with. He's also got 12 attack and 13 magic. So this guy is going to hit harder because he's got more attack damage, and he's also got more HP. So I have to really make sure that my attacks count. And in the beginning like this, it's all really kind of luck-based, so it just depends on what I roll. And you can see here I got 2 daggers and a shield, so that's pretty good. I hit him pretty hard, but then also the shield protected me against the 2 attacks that he did. And so that's what's different about this guy, is that in addition to the physical attack, he also does a magic attack. And the magic attacks will usually go directly to your HP and ignore your shield. So let's go ahead and try rolling one more time, see how this rolls out. So critical hit there, so I got him 3 times there, and you can see he's almost dead at this point. So even though he did attack me and take down some of my HP, I'm just probably going to kill him the next time I have an attack. It's also worth noting that the amount of HP that you have doesn't really matter other than the fact that you need to survive, because once you finish a round, it's going to go back to 100%. So don't worry about it going down too far as long as you don't die. So in our next spin, I'm hoping that we will kill this guy. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I got an attack and then I killed him directly. So I got a quick kill, $3 bonus. So now we're back in the shop. We've got more symbols that we can purchase. Now I can upgrade my shield for 9 coins. That's going to give me additional 50% upgrade. But then I've also got like a new bow and arrow, which is going to give me additional 10 physical attack, but uses something called a skill check. We will use that here in a moment. We've also got a modifier symbol now. So this one's called the big biceps. If we were to add this to our inventory, what that means is if we rolled that one, it's going to give us 100% additional physical damage, but it will reset itself every time you do a new roll. So the ideal here would be that you would get a bicep and then the dagger in a row. That would give you 100% additional physical attack, and then you would then hit them with the dagger, which would give them 200%. But there's also an element of risk when you start to use modifiers, because, for example, what if you got a shield, and bicep? That really isn't going to do anything. The bicep is going to give you additional attack, but it'll reset itself on that next roll, which means it basically just didn't do anything and you lost a move. Now below that, we've got what they call power-ups. So these are going to be upgrades that will work for that run. So if I buy this cheese for $10, that's going to give me an additional 25 hit points in every round. We've also got this one called the Ring of Life, and so this will give us 20% additional bonus on healing. If we had a healing spell, this would be great. So in addition to healing it, you'd get an additional 20%, but we don't have a healing spell, so this one isn't really going to do much. So with the $18 that I have, what I'm going to do now is actually buy the bow and arrow. Now, if I was actually playing to win, I would probably upgrade my shield to give myself a little bit more protection, but I want to show you what the bow and arrow looks like when we play it, because the skill-based ones are pretty fun. So I'm just going to buy that one for 10. I've got $8 additional, but there's nothing else I really want to purchase or can afford, so I'm just going to go ahead and start my next round. Now this next guy is even more powerful. He's got 190 overall hit points, and then also he has an 11-point attack, but he does it 3 times. That means it's going to hurt more and more as we go further in the round, because it's just going to kind of start to increase exponentially. So let's go ahead and do our next attack, and let's see if we get one of those bow and arrows so you can see what it looks like. So yeah, I got the dagger and then 2 bow and arrows, and so you can see here this is a skill check. And so what's happening now is it basically wants us to hit A at the target. And if we hit that, it's going to be a better attack. If we miss the guy, it's only going to give us a little bit of an attack. So let me go and hit it. And you can see I kind of missed him. And so I didn't really take a lot of hit points away. Let's try it one more time and see how well I do. And there we go. I hit him right there. And so I got a little bit more damage right there. And so that's one of those skill checks that you can do in this game. So I got a feeling that I'm probably going to die when playing against this guy just because he's hitting me 3 times. You can see how much he took away already. So let's just go ahead and roll and see how it goes. So I got a bow and arrow again. Let's see if I can get a real nice shot. And it wasn't so great. And then I got my 2 daggers. And so you can see I'm kind of making a little bit of headway with him, but he is getting further and further and attacking me down. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to survive this. I got a lot of money there. I got a bow and arrow. My guess is that after I hit this bow and arrow, he's going to attack me 3 times and then I'm going to die. So let's see. Maybe I'll get a critical hit here, but I don't think I will. Oh, I did. So it took off quite a bit, but still not enough to kill him. And yeah, I just died, so game over. And that's fine. You can see I got a bunch of chips that fell down, and I also got a new symbol that's permanently added to my upgrade path. And so that's great. That means I have 4 symbols to choose from in the next round. And that's kind of the nice thing about roguelikes is that it's sort of designed for you to die, and that you will get stronger and stronger over time. So at the end of the day, you can see that at the bottom it says chips earned. I got 50 chips, and that's going to be really important because that's what I'm going to use for my permanent upgrades. So after you finish that, it's going to take you to the modifier section, and within here you've got all those permanent upgrades that we were talking about before, and they will start at a pretty low price, 25, 35, it just kind of goes up from there. But as you buy one, the next one will get more expensive. And so it is one of those things that you have to unlock further down. And each of these are going to help in some sort of way. So for example, this first one gives us 5% resistance against physical attacks. That means that when the enemy hits you, it's not going to hurt as much. The next one is 10% resistance against magical attacks. Now, not every enemy is going to have a magical attack, but when they do, it's not going to hurt as much there. Now, this next one is actually really helpful because it will heal you 75% of your total health every time that you go into a new turn. And it just kind of keeps snowballing from there. For example, this one gives you additional physical attack, and I don't want to spoil everything and kind of go through all of it, but yes, you can start to upgrade your character by trying out all of these. I will note that once you got some good money, it might be worth saving up for one of these. For example, this one will revive you for 100 chips, and so if you die, you'll get your HP all the way back up again. Just bear in mind, you'll only be revived once per run, and so it really just kind of gives you a quick lease on life, but if you're fighting an enemy that's really hurting you, you probably won't last much longer. And this one on the right costs $200 to start, but this is the big kahuna. This is going to open up your slots. Instead of having 3, you can then have 4 or 5. And as you can imagine, that will significantly increase your power if you can do 4 or 5 attacks instead of 3. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to pick this one, which will give me an additional 25% physical attack strength. So I'm going to spend my coins right there, and that's it. I've got 15 left, but that's not really enough to buy anything else. So I'm just going to go down here to continue. It's going to take me back to the main page, and then I will start up a new game all over again. Now this time around, we've got 4 different symbols to choose from. I'm going to pick this one instead of the regular dagger, and then the other 2, and then let's go from here. So here we are back again with that very first enemy, but we are a little bit stronger this time around. I've got an additional 25% physical strength, and then I've also got that new attack weapon that I can use. So let's go ahead and try around and see how this works. So I'm going to go ahead here, and I've got 2 coins, and then I've got this sword. So this sword is also a skill check. You can see we've got this thing going up, and the idea here is I want to press the A button right when it gets to the top, but you can see that just based on the velocity here, it's going to be pretty hard to hit it right then and there because it's only up there for a fraction of a second. And honestly, I'm kind of terrible at these rhythm-based style games like this, and so I'm going to try my best, but let's see what happens. And yeah, totally didn't get it. I was late. And so that's the thing about those skill checks is that it can really reward you if your timing is good, but if your timing is bad, it's going to be worse than using something like that regular dagger, which doesn't have a skill check to it. Either way, at this point, you can probably get a feel for this game in that we're just kind of leveling up as we go. This time I got a coin and then a shield, and then I also got that sword one more time again. Let's see if I can really hit him hard, and oh, pretty close. But at this point, I think you can probably get a feel for the gameplay loop, and I don't really have to go much further into it, but I will just kind of note that yes, this will just keep progressing as it goes further and further. And one thing worth noting is that this game is really great in that it saves every single turn. So if I just want to exit the game right here, it's fine. It's not going to end my run or anything. I can continue here, or I can just exit out of the game right here, and it'll take me back to where I was. So it's pretty nice that I can resume my game like that. Okay, moving over to my Steam Deck, this one actually has my cloud save on it. This is what I've been playing the game on the most. The battery life on this is excellent. I get somewhere between 3 and 4 hours of gameplay time, running it at 60 frames per second at 800p medium settings. So this time around, I'm going to start up a new game, but I just want to really show you all of the upgrades that I have. If I go down here to progress, you can see that I've basically unlocked all of the symbols here. So I've got all of these power-ups and symbols available to me now, just because I've been playing this game for about maybe 6 hours altogether. Now, starting up a new game, you can see that I've got a bunch of levels unlocked. I haven't beat the game just yet. I've got 2 more levels to get to, but you can see that I've progressed probably about 80% through the game in the past 7 hours or so that I've been playing. I've heard a lot of people have been beating this game between 6 and 8 hours altogether. For me personally, it's taken me a little bit longer, but I like to go slow through games like this. Now, when I start up the game, you can see I've got a bunch more symbols to choose from, and I want to talk, at least at this point, a little bit about some of the strategies that I've been using. Again, I'm not trying to spoil anything, but I just want to show some of the depth that they have in this game. It's not a super deep game. It's not like Balatro in that you can play this thing for hundreds of hours, but it does have a little bit of fun depth to it. So the main weapon I've been using is called the Ancestral Axe, and this one will basically give you 0 damage unless you've got shield. And what that means is the higher your shield is, the more that the damage this will give. And so if you've got really high shield, it'll start hurting really bad. And so as a result, the other 2 icons that I use are the wooden shield, which we used earlier, and then what they call the wizard shield. This one will also grant you more shield, but has a skill check to it. So you have to press a button in order to get the most shield possible. And so that's kind of the loadout that I've been using just for fun. And so what I do is I try to get as much shield as possible and then attack when I can. Now there is some risk to this. For example, if I was to get just the axe 5 times in a row, it wouldn't do anything because I don't have any shield. So ideally, I would want to have a bunch of shield popping up and then the axe at the end. So let's go ahead and select my 3 symbols that I've been trying out, and there are other ones. I don't want to give too much away about this game, but this is just one example. So again, starting here at the very beginning, I'm starting with that first enemy, but you can see that I now have unlocked all 5 of these slots, which gives me a lot more attack damage. So let's just roll all 5 and see what happens here. So I'm going to pick all 5, and you can see I got shield, then the axe, and you can see that that took quite a bit away from him right there just in one attack. Now, I've got additional shield now, so the next time I attack him, it's going to be even higher, unless he hits me and takes down a bunch of my shield in the next turn. At this point, we are stuck at the wizard shield. This is where I have that skill check. So you can see you've got this little symbol that is getting brighter. And so ideally, I want to hit the A button right when it's the brightest. But again, it is very skill-based, and so a lot of luck is involved here, and you got to get the timing just right. And honestly, I'm kind of terrible at this, but I'm just going to go ahead and try, and yeah, I got pretty bad right there, and then I got additional shield. You can see the guy attacked me, and then that's basically what happened. I got a little bit of my shield taken away, but not that much because this guy is the first enemy. You may have also seen that I rolled additional dice. So every time that you do a move, these dice over here just kind of roll, and they don't do anything other than if you get 3 of the same number in a row, it's going to give you additional coins. So let's try another roll here and see how this goes. Just based on how much shield that I already have, I know that if I just get 1 or 2 axes, this guy's probably done. So let's go ahead and see what happens. So yeah, critical hit, and so he's done after the second hit. I got a quick kill with additional $5, and you can see everything just kind of shows up again. So I've got the ability to upgrade my axe. I can go and buy other symbols. I don't want to spoil too many of them, but I can, for example, get that cheese again if I want to have additional health. And what I generally do when I'm at this level is I just try to level up my shield and my axe as much as possible so they are as powerful as they can be. So I'm just going to upgrade my axe, and that's basically it. So I'm just going to go ahead and move forward. And so this is the loop that I've been doing, and as I play it more and more, I get obviously more power and more options as it goes forward. And I think this is what I like about this game so much. It's very simple, it's a cheap game, it only lasts about 8 hours altogether, and it doesn't take 100% of my attention to play. There are some skill-based things, for example when I use that wizard shield, but for the most part it is mostly a passive game, and there is a lot of luck involved. The game also reminds me a lot of Puzzle Quest, which was one of my favorite games on the Nintendo DS, which was a match 3 game like Bejeweled, but it had an RPG element like this where you fought other enemies. And so I think that's probably what appeals to me the the most about this game is that it's got those roguelike elements where I can level up like in Hades and Balatro, but then also I've got the ability to just kind of rely on passive luck as well. There are a couple things that I wish were a little bit better about this game. The first is that there's only one save slot, and so that means that as you're running through this game, that's it. You basically have your progression, and you can't go and like hand this off to somebody else and let them start their own. They have to basically play your game. A good example is for making this video, I wanted to show off what it was like at the very beginning, and the only option I had was to basically delete all of my progress and start over. And obviously, I don't want to delete my progress. I've got like 6 or 7 hours into it. So what I did instead is I went and I took that ROG Ally and I deleted the save game from it, turned off my cloud saves, and then started that one over. And so that's the way I was able to kind of finagle that. But I would just love to have multiple different save slots like you have in, for example, games like Hades. Another thing I'd love to see with this game is additional optimizations so that it would run better on Android through services like GameHub and Game Native. So right here I'm playing it with GameHub Lite, and unfortunately cloud saves don't seem to be working with this. I've tried a couple different options, and so unfortunately, yeah, I'm not able to access my game, at least on GameHub Lite. On regular GameHub I can. But even though this looks like a lightweight 2D game, running it through an Android layer like GameHub Lite, it is really demanding. It's taking up 100% of the CPU. I am pushing this thing to the max, and I'm only getting 39 frames per second at 720p and low settings. So unfortunately, this emulation layer that we're using here to play this Windows game just doesn't work that well. Now, if you're just playing the game passively, like with, the ones that don't require a skill check, this game is 100% playable like this. But when you play with those skill check options where you have to hit the A button at the right time, having it at such a low frame rate does make it a little bit wonky. And so personally, I haven't enjoyed playing this game on devices like the AYN Thor just because of the limitations that we're having here. Not the end of the world. After all, this is a PC game and we can't expect it to work perfectly with this Android layer in the first 2 weeks, but that would have been awesome if it did. And really, that's about it for this video. I just wanted to show off this game and how much fun I've been having with it, and it might appeal to you as well if you are a fan of RPGs and maybe roguelikes as well. This is a great way to jump in. Also bear in mind that on Steam right now, there's a bunch of bundles that you can buy with this game. So if you've already bought Ball X Pit, which is another game I highly recommend, it's actually going to be cheaper to finish your collection and buy this game too. There's another bundle that comes with Clover Pit, which is another slot-style roguelike game, and so if you're looking for something in a similar vein, you've got that right here, and buying these together will save you a little bit of money. Anyway, that's all I got for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. As always, thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you found this helpful, and we will see you next time. Happy gaming.